We be live. Hello, Durud and Shalom.
Welcome back, everybody. We have boom booms going on, explosions rocking the southern coast of Iran and some of the major cities as we speak. The Yemeni armed forces are issuing a couple of statements, and so are the Houthis. We have some breaking news. A ship was hit, I think maybe 30 minutes ago, off of the coast of Yemen. The Houthis have answered the call of the Islamic Republic and have now closed the Bab el Mandeb. They issued some threats yesterday, and it looks like today they followed through on them. No ship is safe. Any ship docking on any Saudi port will be targeted. Already, about 6 Chinese VLCCs were not able to pass through and have turned around, so not even the Chinese are being spared. And today, I'll show you the confirmation that a ship was indeed hit right here, so we can make sense of what's going on. The UK MTO has issued a report that a little bit off the coast into the Red Sea, off of the port of Al Shukaik in Saudi Arabia, a vessel was hit by an unknown projectile, causing a fire that the crew is fighting at the moment. I believe they probably already evacuated, or the Houthis might have already swarmed the area. It's unclear. We don't have any more information, but we do know that the Houthis are responsible for this, because who else could it possibly be? Along with that news, we have, again, the liftoff of heavy bombers from the UK, possibly targeting Pickaxe Mountain, and we will show you guys this. This is what Pickaxe Mountain looks like from the air, and it is believed by US and Israeli intelligence, which I'll actually get to you guys how the Israelis told the Americans in just a second. Some information's come out that Pickaxe Mountain now has the uranium enriching centrifuges of the Islamic Republic under it. It's unknown if it's hundreds or thousands, but centrifuges aren't something that you can just pick up and plug in. They require extensive cooling systems, electrical wiring, and etc. However, they are there, and that has clearly spooked the Israelis and the United States. 2 weeks ago, the head of Mossad visited the United States. He met with the head of the CIA in Washington, and they spoke specifically about this issue of Pickaxe Mountain. And subsequently, the day after, Trump started talking about Pickaxe Mountain as well. The interesting point, if we go to the map here, is that in Qatar, we can see that something pretty important happened that we have caught just today. So the Al Udeid base of Qatar, we told you guys a couple weeks ago, this place was crawling with US refueling tankers. They're all gone. Every single one of them, not only the refueling tankers, any fighter jets, everything they had in this base is all gone. The rate of evacuation is even faster than before the 40-day war broke out on February 28th. There's a lot of logistical things happening right now on the US's side that suggests that we are heading straight back into this incoming operation. And there's a couple other things like Donald Trump posting on Truth Social here. You can see him reposting this on Truth Social saying, yes, Trump orders CENTCOM to open the gates of hell after the US troops were killed. This is also causing people to believe something is on the way. And if we go by the strikes that happened last night, I'll show you guys how many places were hit. Let's make this an enlarged image. These are going to be all the strikes that happened last night in Iran. As you can see, the red dots are pretty much spanning most of the country at the moment. As per usual, the east side is largely left alone. But even around Tehran, west and east, there were blasts last night. All the way up in the top left corner, you can even see Tabriz being hit. Is Tabriz being hit to prepare it for the Israelis coming in? Because that's usually where they would strike. It's closer to them. We're not too sure. What we do know, some piece of interesting news, is that I went and researched a little bit about the drones that we saw in the air of Tehran last night. Let's show you guys what the sky actually looked like when I was telling you guys on the last show that the skies of Tehran are quite literally on fire. So you guys can hear those blasts. And there was pretty intense anti-aircraft activity. As we told you guys last night, the entire city was awoken up by these noises. I looked into the drones, and it looks like, unless these were a ton of Reaper drones or other such things launched from maybe the border of Iraq or something, if it wasn't the case, these are drones that flew and took off from Tehran and only had a range of about, because guys, keep in mind, there's only a certain amount of range that these drones can go, right? You can't just set them off from the Persian Gulf and have them reach Tehran. So there's a high possibility that a lot of the drones they were shooting at were actually launched from within the city of Tehran or the surroundings of it, signaling that someone may have gotten some instructions inside of Iran there. In addition to that, speaking of people within the country of Iran who may be acting out against the government, today in the city of Shiraz, right on the airport, a section of the airport caught on fire and largely has been reported as yet another gas leak. I'm going to mute that because they're playing a quite nice song in it. I don't know if I'll get copyrighted for that, but you can see the smoke there rising from the airport. It's not a small plume of smoke either, so something there caught on fire. Could be possibly more Immortal Guard activity, Mossad activity, we're not really sure. And doing a quick recap of last night before I get into some of the more important news from the explosions right now. There was an intense bombing campaign last night, as you guys may all know, in the southwest of Iran, close to the city of Ahvaz and close to the city of Bushehr. We go here to Behbahan. This is one of the bases for the IRGC. And let's show you guys what happened. You actually see some blue electric fire going off there, suggesting they struck some location. And so the aftermath largely looks like this. For anyone wondering what this is, these are the barracks of the IRGC base here. They struck them directly and completely obliterated them. That's a question. You know, they aren't really striking barracks too much. What they are striking, though, and what I'm sorely disappointed with the U.S. military, because we should absolutely know better. So I don't know if this was AI use or if someone had bad intel, but we struck a dummy. And these things tend to happen in a war. It's totally all right. But it turns out that this location, that red box that you guys see, those are just empty pipes, and they've been there for 15 years, never used. But they were targeted specifically in a CENTCOM strike, and many people are coming out and questioning the intelligence that the United States military had when it struck these, because a simple Google Maps look could have possibly told you that these are not military targets and they've been there for a long time. So we do know that the U.S. military is using Palantir. It's using other AI software to automate their launching systems for these, and it may be just an error of that. And if that is, that's just part of the process to learn AI military use. I understand that. In addition to that, we can see that in the city of Bushehr, the same place where these were struck, we are now seeing some signs come up. Some people are, like Vahid Online posted this and are saying that these are mine signs that there's mines ahead. I'm not really sure. It could be a speed bump. It's really hard to say, but I thought I'd show you guys just in case. Because Bushehr is one of those cities where it's possible that the U.S. lands some troops there, or the Persian Gulf Arab countries do, and looks like maybe they're preparing for some sort of operation. In terms of the U.S. troop buildup, the USS Boxer is in theater. That's confirmed. But the USS Tripoli is replaced, as I told you guys. A lot of people, including some pretty prominent analysts out there, think that the USS Tripoli is still in the area. It's not. It docked in Japan this morning in Okinawa, and we largely told you guys that it was traversing through Singapore about a week ago. So it's going to be the USS Boxer that's going to be the brunt of the amphibious landing if there were to be an invasion here, and then the 50,000 personnel that you see, like the airborne and other such troops in the Iraqi, Jordanian, and Saudi bases that you have there. Armin, do you feel like there's been a buildup that suggests that we are really going to prolong more operation?
Everything suggests that, like everything that we're witnessing, and it's like, as you're speaking, there's so many information that is coming our way, and like everything suggests that we're going in that direction, unless this is all just a big giant show to scare the Islamic Republic into submission. Unless that's what's happening, everything suggests that we're moving towards that direction. What do you think?
Absolutely. Just because we've been here before in January and February, we thought that it was going to be a threat and pressure on the Islamic Republic, but all those troops turned out to be...
No, we know that something is going to happen. Like right before Operation Epic Fury on my Persian. Here's the thing, Ali. Actually, a lot of people on the Persian side keep mentioning this everywhere. That the cover before the internet was cut, and before the day before Ali Khamenei was killed, on my Persian channel, the last cover that I had was they're about to hit Khamenei, and then we didn't go live anymore for months because internet Iran was cut in Iran. But that was just sitting there the day before they killed Ali Khamenei, with picture of Ali Khamenei in a bunker scared, and the day after that they killed him. So we have that on our record. But yeah, go on.
I have something similar to that. On that morning, I kept posting about it, that tonight is the night. So it would be, so I posted in the morning. So that was my Friday, which would be Iran's morning when they struck and killed Khamenei. So I said tonight is the night, and it happened that night. And I was pretty, ecstatic. I was actually crying of joy that they struck. And the day afterwards, I was also crying of joy because then we found out that Khamenei was taken out. We have some pretty unconfirmed news suggesting that somewhere along the Caspian border, along the city of Rasht, has been struck, a port. We'll keep an eye on that. We do know that there's a lot of blasts happening in the southern coast of Iran at the moment, but CENTCOM has not yet posted that they have begun strikes tonight. Last night they began them, then posted about it, and we can also see some breaking news that although there was one ship hit by the Houthis, they actually claimed that they hit two, and they named the ship the Insela and the Laylia. They claim they hit both ships. Now, one of these have been hit. Maybe the other one has been as well. That puts the risk of the Bab el-Mandeb in the Red Sea at pretty critical at the moment. Looks like those supplies from the IRGC did get through to them, and they have now threatened and closed that area only to Saudi ports so far, however. So I'm not really sure if we're going to see escalation to target other countries' ships that are not porting there. We'll see. At the moment, they're targeting Saudi. Which, speaking of Saudi, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing history repeat itself. The government of Saudi Arabia and the United States, as I told you guys, signed this, or were about to sign this nuclear deal. Well, it got signed today. Trump has formally approved a landmark 30-year nuclear deal for Saudi Arabia. This means that Saudi Arabia can now enrich uranium. It will have also a civilian nuclear program, but we all know how this goes. A country will start with uranium enrichment. They will ask for more, enriching it to higher amounts, and this is a 30-year long deal. I would not be surprised in any amount if Saudi Arabia starts banging on the door to build some nuclear weapons of their own in the future here. And I'm not quite sure if history has been very kind to those countries in the Middle East. Take, a couple here, for example. In terms of the Islamic Republic's oil exports, we did get a statement from our oil expert, Saeed Qasem-Najad, which I will show you now. He is the right-hand man to the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi and also the foremost oil expert of Iran. He said the last time a tanker left Iran was July 12th. It's about 10 days ago. He named the ship, and he said it had about 2 million barrels of crude oil, and that was it. So about 10 days ago was the last time the Islamic Republic exported oil through the sea. So the blockade has absolutely been effective, both according to CENTCOM and both according to the Iranian opposition, aka us. And that is a absolutely piece of good news for us, because the more you suffocate the Islamic Republic in terms of money, the easier it is, the more weakened it is. Did you know about this? I actually didn't know until this morning. So the blockade's working, Armin. It's absolutely working. They're not getting any money.
The blockade, the U.S. blockade, has been so as effective as the Strait of Hormuz blockade has been useless for the Islamic Republic. By the way, you know what also gives me a lot of joy is the fact that none of the benefits of the ceasefire were realized for the Islamic Republic. Like, remember, we were like, oh no, they're gonna get $24 billion in fund release. That didn't happen. Oh no, they're gonna get $300 billion in investments. That didn't happen. Oh no, the blockade is removed and now they're selling oil, and the oil is gonna come to them and it's gonna be relief. That didn't happen. Oh no, they're gonna get corn. It's kind of funny, but they're still getting something. That didn't happen either. Right? Like, they sell their oil, but the money is still sitting in escrow account somewhere, right? Is that what it's called? Yes. And is that, and they can't use it because they violated the ceasefire and everything. So they got none of any of it. So all of the ceasefire benefits, all the benefits were for the United States, and nothing was for the Islamic Republic. So they were fooled. They were fooled by President Trump. They walked into a trap.
Completely correct. Let me give you guys one more update about the economic situation of the Islamic Republic, particularly about the supreme leader, and then we will tell you guys what the Islamic Republic has been saying. They're threatening to destroy everything in the region if something in particular happens. But let's listen to this first by Scott Besson.
Most, if not all, of their capability to rebuild. And then we moved on to what we call economic fury. And that's a 1-2 punch. It's the blockade. And then what we're doing at Treasury, and we are tracking these accounts all over the world. We froze a crypto wallet linked to the IRGC the other day, about $130 million. We have found the money man for the Ayatollah, and we are tracking the Ayatollah's properties around the world. We hope to soon be able to print his $100 million plus properties and show the addresses. And we're preserving this money for the American people, but most of all, we are constricting the regime. Their currency has collapsed. It is at an all-time low versus the dollar. It's in free fall. And we think the inflation rate is upwards of 180%. And
there we go. Upwards of 180% inflation. And I think, guys, if he said American people, I'm pretty sure he meant Iranian people. He's been saying that they're freezing the assets and keeping the money for the Iranian people. So just a slip of the tongue there. Well, we're back to realizing that this Islamic Republic is being squeezed economically. They know that, and they're pretty much just holding on for dear life at the moment. Ghalibaf came out with a response. Let's see what he says, guys. Surely he's going to say something like, hey, let's dig ourselves out of this situation, right? All right, so he basically said, hey, man, it's all or nothing. If we don't sell oil, no one's selling oil. If our infrastructure is hit, everyone's infrastructure is hit. Gotcha, Ghalibaf, the current acting leader of the Islamic Republic. So if you don't sell your oil, no one does. Here's the thing. No ship has been hit today, as of the past 24 hours, by the Islamic Republic. Now, during the course of this stream, that might turn out to be false, but we're getting all sorts of insane statements from the IRGC, like the army. So the Artish's chief, which, guys, if you hear Artish, don't think that everyone's on the side of the Iranian people. Everyone of importance in the military, the actual army, is IRGC. They're planted there. Their commander-in-chief came out and said, if the United States invades the Islamic Republic of Iran, they will face millions of Iranians. Sure, you couldn't even have 400,000 people show up to your supreme leader's funeral, but there's going to be millions waiting for the Americans on the beaches of Iran. That's doesn't really add up to me in terms of math, if I'm going to be honest with you. And we can't really expect that that is the case.
Ali, I think I disagree with you here. I have a video that shows that they might be onto something.
Guys, a disagreement.
Yes. I think we finally found a significant disagreement.
Did we find the secret army? The commander-in-chief is saying that millions of Iranians will be waiting for the Americans.
Yeah, so they actually did mobilize some people to the south. And let me just show you. So, guys, let me just give you context. So the regime supporters have been criticized so much right now that, well, the anti-MOU people, the anti-MOU people have been criticized so much for, you guys wanted war, so here's war. Why aren't you going to the south? So finally somebody responded and like, okay, we're here in the south and we're in the 30 million, because they had like a registration of 30 million. Remember, there was a website for the Jan Fadas, and 30 million people registered to go sacrifice their lives for the Islamic Republic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here is the result.
اونایی که تو این اینستاگرام چیکه بندازن میگن که جان فداها کجا هم بلندشن برن جنوب. الان این
So he's saying all the people on Instagram who keep like trolling us and messing with us, where are the Jan Fados? Why are you not going to the south? Well, here it is.
جنوب. الان اینجا جنوب کشوره. اینم جمعیت جان فدا که زنجیره انسانی تشکیل دادن. نگاه کنید.
Look, did you see that, Ali? That's what 30 million people looks like. 30 million. And you know what he calls this? By the way, I don't even know if you could. I'm actually surprised you couldn't even gather more people from the local people over there. You didn't need to bring people from the rest of Iran. You should have been able to do like 100 times more than this just from the people who live in the city. But you know what he says, Ali? He says, Zanjire Insani. He's saying we're creating a human chain to defend the south. You know what that means?
Human
you know what that means? That's a human shield. So apparently their idea of going fighting for the Islamic Republic is not to get these people and arm them and go fight the Americans and Israelis. That's not what they was thinking. It's just them standing there as human shields. For years, they told us that. For years, these people were telling us they lied. We don't use human shields. We don't use human shields. Now they're advertising it. They're advertising it. This is a war crime. This is a war crime. What are you doing? And also, Ali, the fact that they're doing this is basically an admission of two things. It's an admission that our enemies care about civilian lives, because this would not work unless the Americans and Israelis are trying to avoid killing civilians. So by you doing, if you think this has any effect, you're basically publicly announcing that we think our enemy has high moral standards. It also confirms that you don't, because as much as the Americans and Israelis want to save civilian lives, you are sacrificing them. So you are admitting that the Americans and Israelis care about these people's lives and would want to avoid them. And it also confirms you're also admitting that you don't care about their lives.
Absolutely. Here's the problem. They've done this before, but remember all those people, they went into the mosques, they distributed AKs, RPGs, man pads, all of them. Those people, when push comes to shove and the operation starts, whether it's a land invasion of Iran or a extended air operation, these civilian, or even an uprising by the people, these regime supporters who are now armed with these limited amount of weapons, they will be killed. They don't have training or the know-how, and they will be used as cannon fodder. That is their purpose. When they are killed, the IRGC will come in, remove the weapons from their slain bodies, and claim that the Americans have killed civilians. That is something that we have to look out for, and it will happen in an astonishing amount. There is already so much propaganda that every time the US strikes, they are killing civilian casualties, and it's just not the case. It's just not the case. We absolutely do care about civilians, and we do not strike civilian targets, and if we do, it is so incredibly precise that the missile goes in through the window of the specific floor and room that person is in and only eliminates that target. You know what would scare me, though? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, you go ahead and then I'll go.
You know, there is something that would scare me, honestly. Imagine you show up, right? You're an American soldier, and you show up, and this is what you see.
این موسلابای پوشالی که تو لونه موشش اینجا قایم شده و هیچ کسی ازش هیچ خبری نداره و حتی تو تجهیز جنازه که پدرش نیومد و ظاهر شد و هیوی هم الان اومده ملاقاتش من ترسک و کلا تو این دور زمونه دست به دست هم و دامون.
Guys, look, it's a scarecrow. It's Mujtaba Khamenei and Vahidi scarecrow. Quite frankly, if I saw that, I probably would pee my pants. I don't know about you.
But that guy is inside Iran and he's making fun of Mujtaba. That's pretty daring.
Yeah.
Yes. I do have something that will scare you. Here, let me show. Okay, let me remove this one. So, another ability of the Islamic Republic has just been revealed. And I did not see this coming, Ali. This one surprised me. So, look at this announcement.
ما زیر آبهای نیلگون خلیج فارس شهر موشکی داریم. موشک‌های ما آماده هستند. بیاین ما منتظریم. یک بار دیگر در تاریخ ثبت خواهد شد.
Wow. So that's what happens when you take too much meth.
So guys, this guy from the IRGC is confirming to us that the Islamic Republic has missile cities, get this, we already knew that, under the sea, under the Persian Gulf. Under the sea, they have missile cities under the sea.
Whoa.
New revelation.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you guys know that? I didn't know that.
That is pretty.
I didn't know that.
Okay. One thing else did you... Okay, can I show more? I have more videos.
Yeah, of course.
From inside Iran. Okay. So here's a new threat to President Trump. And guys, I'm usually concerned that when people threaten President Trump, and I think we should take it more seriously, but there's a new chant that I actually think that President Trump should listen to. Like, I think this is supposed to be a threat, but it turned out to be a good advice. This was designed as a threat, as a chant in Iran against President Trump, but I don't know if they. I think maybe these people like President Trump. Let me play this. So they're saying Trump حیا کن برو خونتون لالا کن. So they're saying Trump have some shame, go home and take a nap. Trump have some shame, go home and take a nap. That's what they're saying. They keep saying that. Okay, so honestly, guys, when you look at Truth Social, we should do today because Trump posted a some significant post. But if you look at Truth Social, President Trump doesn't get sleep. Like, if you look at it, he probably gets 3 hours of sleep every day. So yeah. I honestly agree with this. President Trump should sleep more often, especially his age. This is not good for his health. So I know this was supposed to be a threat, but this one is not that bad compared to the rest of them. What do you think, Ellie?
I think those kids are having a great time. I think they don't even know what they're saying. They're like, yeah, nap time.
You know what, Ali? When I was in Iran in elementary school, the school had this. We came out of school to burn the American flag. So we burned the American flag. Honestly, we had no idea. We just were so we were like, yay, burn it! But because we're so happy, not because we understood we had any anti-American mindset or any anti-Israeli view. It's just that we were burning something, right? We were boys, and we're like, class stops. We get outside, the class gets canceled. What are we doing? We're setting things on fire in the schoolyard. Yeah, let's go. So it was. So I mean, these kids, you're right. These kids are not they're just yay. I don't think they are. They support what they're chanting in any ways. Yeah.
I remember when I was in school in Iran, in the morning when you line up and you're taking roll call, you got to stand on your little, yellow dot or whatever, and they call out the names. After they're done roll calling, they go, "Death to America." And I'm there, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm born in America. I'm, largely raised in America. I'm 9 years old. And everyone around me is like, yeah, death to America. I'm like, mouthing it. I don't want to say it. I'm just mouthing it because literally a few months before, right, I'm in an American school, and I'm going I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And then 3 months later, I'm in an Iranian school, and I'm like, everyone's like, death to America around me. I'm like, oh my God, that's.
Okay. Wait, can I show you more? That was pretty cool. Yeah. Wait. Did you feel uncomfortable before I go?
For what?
For everybody around you. You were an American, and everybody around you was saying death to America.
Yeah, they did not like the fact that I was born in America. I was not an Iranian to them. They did not like it. It was not a fun time.
Oh, that sucks. Okay. Hopefully next time you go to Iran, you will not have that experience.
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you won't. Let me see. Here's another video. So this is a mullah with the Islamic Republic flag. You saw this? You saw this.
Yeah.
Okay. So this driver saw this mullah having his time with the flag, and he got amused watching the mullah just go at it. Watch this. He's like, where are you gonna like? Oh, this mullah. Look at this mullah. Where are you gonna shove that? Like, what are you trying to shove it in? So it's kind of like a rude way to say like you're gonna shove it up someone's bum or something. Wait, one more time. This guy is having too much fun with this. One more time. So this is in Iran, guys. So this driver was really amused by this mullah just waving the flag. Okay. CENTCOM just posted, right? Let's go to CENTCOM.
Yeah, we have CENTCOM post. Guys, we got some breaking news. Yeah, of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, as of 8 minutes ago, CENTCOM began their 12th consecutive night of strikes against the Iranian military targets at Trump's direction. But we do have more of the same. So the mission degrading Iran's ability to threaten the ships in the Strait of Hormuz. So nothing crazy, but this is the 12th consecutive night. The Islamic Republic in reality is really just taking it at this point. They're taking a pounding like few other can. And remember, we do still have that Qatari mediation on the table where they close the Strait of, or they open the Strait of Hormuz 2 lanes for 10 days. I don't think that the White House has rejected it, but actually what I did see earlier, Trump gave a speech today in Georgia, and he said, I wrote down my notes here. Where was it? All right, well, I just remember what it is. Anyway, Trump in his speech today said that the Islamic Republic wants to make a deal so bad, heard that 100 times, but he doesn't believe that they're ready for a deal because they keep changing the word. We've also heard that many times. The new part was that he said they're not ready for a deal right now because they keep changing the word, but they'll be ready soon. And then he just ends it there. So it looks like what you were saying, these strikes could escalate. They could go and target some IRGC leadership, destroy a lot of the southern coast defenses, take the Strait of Hormuz from the Islamic Republic, then draw them back to the negotiating table, maybe get the uranium out of there, maybe get a surrender out of them. I'm not sure. But it does seem like that's still the strategy, which Marco Rubio yesterday for world time, confirmed at the ASEAN summit in the Philippines. So he said in his press statements there that the United States is still open to a diplomatic agreement with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Even though they broke the previous 10 ones, it doesn't mean we can't make one in the future. So I think he also is signaling that we're going back to a potential round of another negotiations here, which I thought was very incredibly high in likelihood. He also met with the Russian foreign minister, Lavrov, directly, and they spoke about probably Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, was begging Rubio to not impose sanctions on Russian oil. I mean, they're already having such a hard time. They're getting absolutely obliterated by Ukraine. I don't think they need more destruction on their end there. But who knows? Marco Rubio is a pretty capable politician, and I'm going to take that as a signal from him. But he's also very capable in that maybe he's bluffing. Maybe we are not going back to the negotiating table. There's a quick tidbit on that. I'm going to have a video for you. Actually, I think you have a video as well.
Yes.
I want to show you one after that about the Islamic Republic coming on state media and saying, if the Americans take a city, we will literally just destroy that city. That Iranian city, will blow it up. Doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that video that you're talking about is going viral on Iranian social media. Okay, so this guy is in Iran, And so John Fado is the name that. So there was a website that the Islamic Republic put up for Iranians to come and register as John Fado, meaning people who are going to be sacrificing their life. In this context, the Islamic Republic saying people who are willing to sacrifice their life for the Islamic Republic. So this person is saying like, okay, I'm a John Fado, meaning that I'm willing to sacrifice my life. Okay, so watch this. So you're saying they say that apparently there's going to be a ground invasion or war on the ground after the World Cup is over. That's what they say. Like, okay, it's there's no problem. I haven't registered for the John Fado on the website. However, I'm willing to go to the south for my country. I will pick up a gun, but there's one condition. So he's saying with one condition. The condition is that I should be the one to decide who's the enemy. Do you know what he's saying, Ali? You're muted.
I get it now. In the beginning, I was like, dude, what are you saying? And then I get it.
So, guys, let me tell you one more time what he just said. And, guys, remember, this guy is recording this from inside Iran. He said that because the Islamic Republic there's a lot of discussion about people needing to go to the south, sacrifice their lives to fight against the enemy. And he says, okay, I'll go. I'll pick up a gun and go. One condition, I'll decide who's the enemy. So without saying it, what he's saying, he's threatening the Islamic Republic because he's saying you're the enemy. Saying you're the enemy. But this is a bit too brave because he recorded and posted this with his face on. Watch this again.
اسلحه میگیرم به شرط اینکه تشخیص دشمن رو بذارم به عهده خودم.
What?
I was saying we might get copyrighted for that last few seconds of that song at the end.
It's short. It was too short, I don't think. Like,
okay,
if it's that short, yeah. Well, let me check because I could check because I played it on the Persian channel. I could check if I got a copyright strike right now.
So let me show you guys a couple of things here. Before I show you guys the clip that the Islamic Republic will literally strike their own city and burn it to the ground with missiles, let me show you guys what the capabilities of the Islamic Republic is. This is the strike range of the Islamic Republic. As you can see, it goes well into Europe. Pretty much all of Central Europe is a target. India, even parts of China. And here are the missiles. Now let's take a look at how big these missiles are compared to an average person. On the bottom left, you can see a human being. And then you can see in comparison with feet what these missiles are. These are what they will use on their own people, on their own cities and towns, if the United States comes and takes them. Or if an uprising happens, it's pretty much the same for them. If the Iranian people take over a city, they will use these on them. There is no hesitation there. If they can't shoot them directly, they will use missiles and drones. And they stated that. Let's take a listen.
حرفم اینجا داخل پرونده به صهیونیست‌ها بگم آخه شما فرض کنید اصلا نظام سقوط کرد. فرض محال. خوبه. اصلا بذار حال کنید با این حرفا. خوبه. فرض کنید نظام
They're like, okay, let's just theorize if the regime fell. Okay, I know a lot of you guys want to hear that. Let's just say it did.
نظام سقوط. آخه احمقا این پاسدارا نظام سقوط کنه موشکاشون رو تحویل میدن به یه مثلا حکومتی که با شماها رفیقه.
You think the IRGC is going to turn over their missiles peacefully to a country that you want them to?
میگن ببخش
no, a country that is affiliated with you Zionists.
کلی زحمت کشیدیم، هزاران موشک درست کردیم، شهرهای موشک دو دستی تقدیم میکنه. یا به نظر شناختی من دارم که این حالا شما حتما شناختایی دارید که میگن داداش ما
You really think we worked this hard to build thousands of ballistic missiles and we're just going to turn them over? You really think so? From what I know, that's not the case.
قبل رفتن بذار اینا رو تخلیه کنیم با هدف همون جغل جایی که رفتید گرفتید، خب که اونجا شخم بزنن دیگه، اصلا تا سالها موجودی نتون اونجا زندگی بکنه. خب
This guy is such a disgusting vermin. He's saying that even if the regime falls, let's just say we lose, all the missiles that we have, we're not going to just give them up to someone. Even if we surrender, we might as well use them. We might as well use them on you so that nothing can grow in that area for years.
Oh my God.
That's what he's saying. About his own country, by the way.
We told you this, right? Remember, Ali? We told you that these people have a strategy called Zamin Sukhte.
Yes.
Basically, if they have to go, they don't want to leave anything behind.
Nothing.
We told you guys way before this guy said this. Yeah.
He will bomb. He will use the missiles, chemical weapons, dirty bomb, whatever he will. He will use it so that nothing can grow on this land. That's what he's saying. And he's doing it in his standard, laughing, scoffing method. It makes my blood boil in a way that nothing else does.
اینجوریه. ما چی فکر کردید در مورد ما؟ با یه جا توی کن سخنرانی گفتم بابا برید خدا رو شکر کنید که 7-10 میلیون آدم تو این جمهوری اسلامی درگیر جمهوری اسلامی هستن. خب اینا اگه درگیر جمهوری اسلامی کار نظام باشه بیکار بشن که فقط به قدس فکر میکنن، به آزادی قدس.
What is it? What is he even saying at the end there? I don't even understand that.
Quds is Jerusalem. He's saying that
right.
You have to be grateful that the people within the Islamic Republic, they're busy with work. If the Islamic Republic falls and they don't have any more government job, their entire focus would be to liberate Jerusalem.
What in the world?
By the way, guys, remember when you guys started watching me, I kept on telling you about this guy. I call him, the Kung Fu Panda guy. I've been following this guy for years. I've been making shows against him on the Persian channel for years. I have a show that went viral that I was covering his crazy conspiracy theories, including one of them being Kung Fu Panda, being a Zionist conspiracy brainwashing mechanism. He was looking at symbols, Zionist symbols in Kung Fu Panda. I'm not kidding. That's what he was doing. So for years, I've been following this guy and criticizing him. And he's a big name. He's the biggest. I think. Let me see. When it comes to non-regime influencers, I think he's the biggest one. Non-regime, pro-regime influencers. Raifipur. Is there anyone else that is bigger than him? No, it's him. I think that's the biggest one.
Yeah, it seems so. Let's see. I think CENTCOM released this video. Let's take a look. The jet. Some pretty afterburners. You know what I like about this is that they're pretty much showcasing exactly what they got on the Bush aircraft carrier or the Abraham Lincoln. And they know there's not a damn thing the Islamic Republic can do about it. They're like, hey, look at this. F-16, F-20, whatever we got. Don't matter. You can't do anything about it. We also saw today that there was another billboard put up in the Islamic Republic. believe this is I think it's Tehran, but he's saying that they will go for Trump once again, and that's Air Force One in the back. So they're saying, hey, terrorist, get ready to die. And they have Trump's hat of Make America Great Again with Air Force One in the back. Again, you guys might think that these threats are not to be taken seriously. They absolutely are to be taken seriously. The Islamic Republic will never stop at a couple of things here. One, suppressing the Iranian people. Two, wanting to kill Americans and Israelis. And three, the pursuit of nuclear weapons. Which is largely why we say, even if you go for Pickaxe Mountain and completely level it with a nuclear weapon, for example, it doesn't really stop them. In the future, they will clearly go get uranium again, enrich it, or buy nuclear weapons from North Korea, China, Pakistan, or something. Smuggle them if they have. I don't know. They will never stop, is basically my final verdict. So they don't care. The Islamic Republic doesn't care if its people are killed, if its population is killed. They don't care if their infrastructure is destroyed. They don't care if the majority of their leadership is decimated and taken out. The only thing they care about is staying in power. So if you can't threaten them directly by overthrowing them from power, they're not going to be affected. So if we look at Trump's Truth Social, let me pull that up for you guys. He made a threat today, and he said that for every for every ship that is struck, here it is. For every ship struck, we will target a bridge or a power plant. And a lot of people, especially in the Iranian opposition community, such as us, have come out and said, Mr. President, this is, it's better than nothing, but this is not the right way. They don't care. They honestly could not care less if you destroy their power plants or the bridges. They just don't care. If you attack the besieged checkpoints, the police stations, and the place where the IRGC hold weapons to kill Iranian citizens, you will get them to the negotiating table faster than anything else. What do you think? Do you think that will draw them?
The besiege, we were doing that already during Operation Epic Fury.
Yep. See, in my opinion, what do you think? Let's just say we go strike Pickaxe Mountain. Let's say we even take the Strait of Hormuz from them. Let's compare that with going in, striking besieged checkpoints and police stations and armories. What's the equivalent here? What's the equilibrium?
Okay, I hate to say it, but hitting the power plants and bridges were paralyzed because one relies on them feeling the pressure and giving in. And honestly, they don't care about the higher ups, don't care about the lives of the people at the checkpoints and the besieging bases. They think they could replace that. Honestly, I think if you hit the power plants and the bridges, this is tough because it's devastating for the people as well, but that will paralyze the regime because that's literally what they need because they're dual use. That's what they run on. Without them, it's basically cutting رگ بزرگ چی میشه به انگلیسی؟ رگ بزرگ is
crown artery or big artery.
Yes, like that. It would be basically like they would basically you're cutting the lifeline. Yeah, you're cutting everything that they need to supply them. They would not be able to run their war machine without that.
So let's debate that. I'm thinking if you strike the power plants, you harm also over 90 million people as well, which clearly the Islamic Republic doesn't care about either, but you get what you're saying, which is paralyzing the regime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it's more worth it, even though you're saying they can think they replace them. But if you do strike these bastions and you target them more, of course, you're going to get competitive adaptation. They're going to wear women's clothing. They're going to hide in people's homes, hospitals, schools. But the fact that they are so heavily suppressed, and it worked the last time during the 40-day war, it's going to be a little bit different this time. They don't have their proxies to bring them in. So whoever they lose now, and the psychological damage it does to the other IRGC members on the street, I think is going to be significantly more this time. They don't have replacements, in my opinion, in bulk. What do you think?
I think they can replace. Okay, here's the thing. What they care about, it doesn't take that many people to be able to operate what they need to operate, both for suppression and shooting rockets and missiles, right? If you take out checkpoints and besiege, that would harm them a lot, but you're not going to be able to take out so many of them. Like, there is hundreds of thousands of them. You wouldn't be able to take enough of them for them not to be able to continue their operations. You might be able to scare them enough to cause more defections from the armed forces and other people who are working with the regime. That it would encourage that, but it would be painful. It would be very painful, but it wouldn't be paralyzing. Bridges and power plants are paralyzing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because they're needed. Like, the other ones is painful, but I can keep going on. But this one it stops you. I mean, it gets close to stopping you. I mean, if you do a lot of it, if you hit one or power plant or two power plants symbolically, maybe it wouldn't. But if you hit a lot of it, then it would just stop you.
I see.
But again, we want to avoid that. But for the sake, I mean, President Trump wants to avoid that for the sake of the Iranian people. He doesn't want to do it. But the reason why he keeps using that as a main threat is because he knows how significant of a blow it would be.
Yes. The humanitarian crisis would be astonishing if that did happen. And that would immediately pretty much mean that they have to finish the job in terms of destroying the Islamic Republic so that humanitarian teams can enter the country. What I want to say right now was, before I completely lost my train of thought, there it is. Fox News gave us a new piece of information. So apparently, a senior U.S. official, according to Fox News, is saying, quote unquote, from what I can tell you here, the U.S. military has moved very special units to the Middle East and in a larger quantity than what was in Afghanistan. He's talking about the special forces. We did see the Ocean Trader, the same ship that was responsible for the Maduro raid, in theater right now. It last docked about 2 weeks ago in Oman. Since then, we don't know where it is. It's operating in the area somewhere, either training operatives for an upcoming operation or conducting operations themselves at the moment. Looks like, according to Fox News, that information is now public. Nothing crazy. We could have assumed that. In terms of the bridges, since we're talking about the infrastructure, we struck some bridges around Bandar Abbas, the southern coast of Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. And what the Islamic Republic has been doing is they've been prioritizing the clearing of the tunnels and also rebuilding some roads that go around the bridges. So we can see here that they use this riverbed, which is dried up at the moment, poured some asphalt on it, and now the trucks are able to bypass this bridge that was struck and destroyed. And on the other side, you can see that as well. This is only going to last for as long as until the rains come back, which are actually scheduled to have flash floods in most parts of the country. I think it was next week or this week, interestingly enough. So it looks like even the elements want the IRGC gone. Now let's see if those flash floods actually happen. The meteorology reports did indicate that those heavy rains are on their way for Iran, which would greatly help out the water supply as well. Another thing is that the British Embassy updated their tension level in the Islamic Republic, and most people are seeing some old news. So they're saying, oh my God, the British Embassy in Iran declared that they closed and they're working remotely right now. The last time they did that was February 27th, the day before the war started. I went and looked into it, and actually, their embassy has been closed for a couple of months now. They've been working remotely. Today, they just updated their page saying that the threat level is increased and be really careful. So if you hear that, just know that's not the case. Axios gave out a pretty important kind of bulletin today. They said that President Trump is approaching a key decision point in this war, and that US and Israeli officials think there's only two options on the table at this point. Option one, we accept the Qatari ceasefire, which is 10-day ceasefire, open up the Strait of Hormuz in 2 lanes. Each country has their own. Option two, that the United States and Israel launch a massive campaign and force the Islamic Republic to surrender. Now, that would be in stages. So that's where we're at, apparently, according to Axios and Barak Ravid. It's not too far off from what we've been saying, although I just don't think the Qatari ceasefire is anything of importance. But speaking of ceasefire, Armin, you know what's funny? Pakistan wants $10 billion from the United States. And they're saying, hey, we helped you guys negotiate. What? We're negotiators. We should get money. And they're asking for $10 billion. Very interesting.
What?
I don't know what they're thinking in their right mind. I mean, the negotiations weren't even successful. And they want money for that. So I don't know.
The audacity.
It's crazy. These people are insane. You hire me to do a job, I fail it, and then I demand money for the failed job.
Was there an agreement for payment even before?
There was no.
Like, is this a surprise bill?
I'm just
imagining Prime Minister of Pakistan just going to the White House and just putting a bill under the door to the Oval Office. Like, by the way. Here's a bill.
Sir,
you can leave a tip.
Please.
10% tip. Tip your negotiator on the way out. Mediator.
So the current stance or situation of the Islamic Republic stands as such. Since the ceasefire and the MOU, they got no frozen assets. They sold their oil, which the money for that is sitting in a US account. They don't get the money for it. Now, behind the scenes, I'm not quite sure, but I trust Scott Bessent and his ability to tell the truth there. So they got no money, no frozen assets, no oil money, no nothing. The only help that they've gotten is from Russia in the form of a very important electronic surveillance and communications aircraft. Russia actually only has a very limited amount, and they decided to send one to the Islamic Republic about 2 weeks ago. So they're showing their support. If the internet's cut in Iran again, they're trying to, I mean, they sent that plane really to see the situation for themselves rather than to help the Islamic Republic. But the, Islamic Republic is stating that they have very close ties with Russia. They have some pretty frequent flights from Tehran to Moscow these days. They had a couple from China, from Shanghai. They arrived in the Islamic Republic right around Khamenei's funeral. We're not sure what was exchanged there. They got no money. They got no proxies either, right? Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis are acting up today, but I'm pretty sure the entire world is now having, a billion more reasons to destroy the Houthis. And the only proxies of the Islamic Republic that can enter the country would be from Afghanistan and Pakistan. The Iraqis' proxies can't either because al-Zaidi has given them another month and a half to fully disarm, or the US and the Iraqi military will go in by force. The Iraqi militias have already stated that they won't give up. That's a conflict waiting to happen. The IRGC itself is pretty much running on fumes in terms of economy at the moment. You heard Scott Bessent earlier saying that the inflation in that country is 180% and approaching 200. It's even more. Food inflation is about 300%. Most people are really struggling. Businesses are closing. The Islamic Republic is going and closing businesses down, which I want to ask you about that later. I'll show you a clip. I'm not sure why they're doing that. Their southern coast has been degraded to the point where the U.S. is now able to launch an operation and take the Strait of Hormuz away from their control. The most important ports in Iran are Chabahar, Rajai, and Bandar Abbas, all three of which have been heavily bombarded and isolated. The bridges and tunnels and roads are isolated. They have really nothing going for them except for a couple of options on the table. One, try to weather this out in any way by keep giving concessions and dragging this out until maybe another month or two, and then putting all of their cards on the table, putting pressure on Donald Trump for the midterms. Or they can somehow come up with a chemical, nuclear, virus, something of a deterrence to possibly force back the Americans and Israelis. Do you think they have any other options here? What options does the Islamic Republic have?
So they don't. So when it comes to the Houthis are very weak, but the problem is that even a small amount of threat from the Houthis are still capable of throwing drones and missiles at commercial ships going through the Strait of Hormuz. Their abilities have been severely damaged by by three factors: the Israeli bombardment, the American bombardment, and third, because of the Islamic Republic's inability to continue supporting its proxies like it's used to, means that the Houthis are very weak compared to before. However, it takes very little to put a blockade and a bubble mandate. Just a few drones and missiles will mean that the insurance companies will stop covering you, and then the commercial ships will not go through the bubble mandate if you do so. In our group call, Guy was speaking, and he thinks that we might be close to the end of the Houthis as a whole if Israelis get involved, especially given now that they have Somaliland, which is an ally of Israel, and Israelis start operating against the Houthis. It is possible to end them once and for all. If that happens, then Bab al-Mandab will be free. So, but the Islamic Republic has the Bab al-Mandab lever to pull. The Houthis can close it with very little equipment, very little ability. The problem is, would they be motivated to do so? Because if they do, they did announce a blockade, and just the announcement of it was enough for commercial ships not to go through. But would they do anything significant? That would basically bring them another bombardment, and they know that. So the Islamic Republic has to give them something significant if they wanted to escalate more around the bubble mandate. So that's one thing the Islamic Republic can do. The main thing that the world is worried about is heavy attacks on oil infrastructure, desalination, and desalination plants and power plants in the Arab countries around the Persian Gulf, and maybe even also attack on, Amazon, Nvidia, or whatever tech company, U.S. company bases, buildings, and in the Arab countries around the Persian Gulf. So that's also another target. Yeah. That's another lever they could pull. The Hezbollah one seems very weak right now. The Strait of Hormuz pressure point seems to be weak right now. Iraq seems to be weak right now, but the Houthis are a threat, and also the attack on Arab countries' infrastructure is a threat. The Houthis is a big threat because the reason why the Strait of Hormuz was not as effective as the Islamic Republic wanted to, beyond the fact that the American Navy managed to get a lot of ships through, is because we have a couple of ways to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. So we have the pipes that go the UAE ones that go basically connects the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman. It doesn't go through the Strait of Hormuz, just goes through UAE. UAE has that one. I think that's a 1.8 million barrels per day capacity. I don't remember. Do you remember what the capacity of that was? The Strait of Hormuz itself has, had like, the Strait of Hormuz itself had like on a regular basis got 24 million barrels per day through the Strait of Hormuz before all of this started. We also have around 300,000 barrels per day capacity through the pipelines in Iraq. But the main one, this is why the bubble mandab is important. The main one with 7 million barrels per day capacity is from Saudi Arabia, the East-West pipeline that connects the Persian Gulf to the Red Sea. Throughout the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, Saudi Arabia had around 4 million barrels per day going through that pipeline, and 3 million barrels once it got from the Persian Gulf to the Red Sea. 3 million barrels per day was going through Bab el-Mandab. 1 million barrel per day was going through the Suez Canal in the north. The Suez Canal has much less capacity than Bab el-Mandab because it's much narrower, so big oil tankers cannot go through that. So once big oil tankers get there, they have to offload the oil to smaller ships that could go through the Suez Canal, or offload it on Egypt and get it through to Europe through pipes over there. So that's what makes the capacity a lot more limited. And even if you close Bab el-Mandab, you lose the 3 million per day capacity down there. And if you want to squeeze everything through to the Suez Canal, even if you get some of it out, the parts that were supposed to get sold to the east, to China and the countries over there, then they have to go all the way around Africa, which basically adds another 2-week delay to the oil being sold to China and other countries around there, which is significantly increases the cost. So with strategic oil reserves being very low right now, this would be very bad for the markets and also for national security for United States. So that's why these two are the pressure points that the Islamic Republic could use right now. This is why Israel is so important, because Israel could really, really help with the Houthis. The previous bombardment of the Houthis by Israel was very, very effective. And now that they have Somaliland, it could be even more effective. But the only way to deal with the Houthis, here's an interesting thing, Ellie. The only way to deal with the Houthis is the same way to deal with the Islamic Republic, which I'll summarize it for you. End them. There is no way to weaken the Houthis to the point that they're not a threat to the Bab el-Mandab. You just need to completely end them. There is no way to weaken the Islamic Republic in Iran to the point that they're not a threat anymore. There's no negotiation. There's no amount of weakening that finished the job. The only thing that finishes the job is finishing them.
Yeah.
Annihilate them. Finish them off completely.
And we can see the damages of that right now. Let's take a look at the Brent oil prices, guys. So let's take a look at this graph. Look at where we are right now. We're at 96, pretty much, 95.7. This is where the war happened, this big spike area. We're pretty much back in that zone. So if we gotta do something. The United States is going to do something very, very soon here, because we're again approaching $100, $110 a barrel at this rate. It's been spiking up since July 1st. Price of oil per barrel was $71. So 3 weeks ago, $71. It is now 96. It's going to be a danger zone here. Again, based on the economics of war, something is about to happen, and the logistics as well. We moved our planes out of the Qatari theater, and we moved a lot more refueling tankers into the Middle East as a total. So there's actually about 200 refueling tankers if you're counting the European bases and the American bases and Israelis in the Middle East. 200. To give you perspective, when the United States conducts operations in the southern coast of Iran, which tonight is this 12th consecutive night, they use maybe 20, maybe 25. Again, transponders off, but that's the estimate, between 17 to 25 refueling tankers. We have 200 in the theater ready to operate. Let's just say 100. So 120-ish are about in the zone right now. We added a ton more. We added dozens more F-16s, F-22s, F-35s as well. They're all sitting here. Everything is ready to go. The president just has to sign off and give the order. Before we read the super chats, I'd like to go down into Sudan, where here in this area, we saw, or I don't know when the last time is, someone please tell me, but in North Kordofan, some of these Islamic radicals, we think it's the Muslim Brotherhood, got hold of a chemical weapon, we believe, and used it. So take a look at this. So this video is circulating around, and people largely believe that this cloud, as you can see right there, was the use of a chemical weapon. And given that they are a radical Islamist group, this has been raising some questions here. Now, I want to see what you guys thought in the chat. About this.
Is this, can I see the caption to that? Where is this?
Yeah. This is North Kordofan in Sudan.
Is it, have you seen this by any other account? Let's just make sure it's correct.
Sure.
Muslim.
Armin's going to do some research for us, guys.
Oh, okay. Send it to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go. And then I will start reading the super chats, and we'll get some confirmation on that. Before we do that, let me make sure I didn't miss anything for you guys. We just have the usual strikes on the southern coast, which actually I haven't been hearing any sounds of explosions right now, so I'm not sure what they're doing in terms of operations. Kuwait and Bahrain did take some strikes. And yeah, largely there doesn't seem to be any sort of significant activity in the area unless it's all dark. So with that, let's get into our super chats here. So Steak and Beans gifted 10 Liberty Politics memberships. Thank you very much for the support.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Guys, make sure, thank you so much, Steak and Beans. Guys, make sure you subscribe to Ali Samani and Liberty Politics. We are here every day. We're your undoubtedly best source on information on Iran, the Islamic Republic, and what's happening in the Middle East. We cover everything that happens every single day.
Ali, you got to your goal today in super chats way before me, and you're passing it now. You got confetti, and I'm only at 5. See,
sweet.
You were complaining yesterday, and now
what are you doing? How are you letting guys? Liberty
everybody
Politics
is on your side.
5?
Everybody that gives super chat is now on your side. Like there's
guys.
Nobody, yes, just 5. Yeah, I've got 5.
I think we got to fix that. I don't know. Guys, is there any way we can add on to the super chats for my champ? No, I'm kidding.
Just kidding.
Thank you so much, Steak and Beans.
So yep, this is correct. Recent intelligence, the video, the post that you showed, recent U.S. intelligence and confirmed that SAF is using chemical weapons and collaborating with designated terrorist organization. Yep, that's true. So, and radical Islamist factions tied to the Muslim Brotherhood and the Iranian regime are deeply embedded in their operation.
Yeah, you know, the U.S. has actually confirmed this before. They're saying, hey, these guys they probably have some chemical weapons, and I guess nothing was really done about it, so they used them. And that cloud right there is, I don't know what that is. Is that mustard gas, or I don't know what it is exactly, but it's not looking so good in Sudan at the moment. I just hope we don't see something like that from the Islamic Republic itself. All right. Thank you. Fleshy Interloper is saying, more optimistic today. House of Cards is falling.
There you go. There you go. When
Absolutely.
Fleshy is optimistic, I'm optimistic because Fleshy has eyes everywhere. So I'm happy. Thank you, Fleshy.
Thank you so much, Fleshy. And Amir the Cricket gifted 5 Ali Samani memberships. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, Amir. So kind.
Thank you, Amir.
Appreciate you as always. And Fizz Endricist is saying, Fleshy is optimistic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, people are noticing. That's good. Yeah, guys, if the Islamic Republic, the US gave them their demands, the Islamic Republic rejected them, we went to war, we drove oil prices up, incurred all these damages, the people of Iran have suffered, and the Islamic Republic is largely weakened as a result. So what makes people think that we're just going to back off completely? It's not the case. At the end of the day, the Islamic Republic will be finished off and weakened to a point where the Iranian people will rise up and take over. And you guys have been making that possible because you're here. Thank you so much, Fizz Endricist. And Channel with the gems. Thank you. Fleshy Antelope saying Saudis going to send Houthis trucks of cash. No, they're actually pretty much openly fighting right now. I don't know about today, but this week they were launching missiles at each other like nilly-willy. I mean, the Riyadh airport last week was struck by Houthi missiles. The Houthis got struck by Saudi missiles. I don't think there's going to be, sort of de-escalation, especially not the Houthis said, hey, Saudi ports are a no-go for everyone. And hit ships.
I mean, to be fair to Fleshy, he might have a point. The Saudis might. Here's the thing: the Saudis, the Emiratis, the Qataris, the Bahrainis, the Kuwaitis are realizing that nobody cares about them, and they have been wrong all of these years to rely on U.S. protection. And sooner or later, because the United States is not as interested in what you have to offer as much as they used to, right? And sooner or later, you have to realize that you have to go under the security umbrella of Israel. And maybe Saudi Arabia, all the billions of dollars that you wasted on I don't know, the line, the Neon project, that golden cube that I don't know what the hell that was they were trying to build, and now you abandoned. All the money that you wasted, you should have gotten the Ukrainians maybe to come and operate, create a system, a drone defense system. I know you're doing it right now, but you should have done that years ago. And again, don't just buy shiny toys from Americans and other people. Get the people to come and operate it for you, because you can't do it. You can't operate any of that. But to be fair to Fleshy Interloper, the Saudis, they're going to try to use their shiny toys that they got from Americans, the expensive shiny toys, and they're going to suck at it. And at some point, they might going to be like, goddamn the Houthis, here's some money. Please stop bombing us. They did that with the Islamic Republic. They're pathetic. They're pathetically weak. And they can't defend themselves. They need some big boy to come and help them out and defend them. They need that. China is not going to help you. Russia is not going to help you. They can't. It's either you can't help yourself. You can't even get your act together to be united with the other Arab countries around the Persian Gulf. You guys still, after so many missiles and drones coming at you, you still don't have a united front against the Islamic Republic. You still have separate contradictory strategies against the Islamic Republic. Your entire business model is at risk, and still these Arab countries haven't figured out to come and be aligned and united against the Islamic Republic. You guys suck. You can't do anything. Okay, you either US will protect you or Israel. US is slowly redirecting its attention to other places, their own continent, and also the Pacific. You guys need Israel. You guys need Israel. You have to. The sooner you admit that, the sooner you're going to gain some stability. Look at this. UAE is getting bombless. You know why? Because they're in the Abrahamic Accord, and they went beyond normalizing relationship with Israel. They after the Islamic Republic attacked them, they started treating them like an ally. And then when Israel came to the aid of UAE, the Islamic Republic stopped bombing them because they're afraid of the consequences, right? I mean, they might go back to it if things get really tense, but there's a lesson in there. There's a lesson in there, and you guys need to learn it. You know, UAE has already normalized it. I mean, it's not enough. It's not enough to go to the Abrahamic Accord. Okay, that's not enough. You have to treat Israel like an ally. Normalization is not good enough. You have to treat Israel with respect and publicly thank them, and ask them to come to your country and give you something like what they give to the UAE, like the Iron Dome. And you need to invite Israelis to step on your land and operate these equipment for you, because you see the Jordanians couldn't. The Jordanians had American defense systems. They don't know how to operate them. That's why we have American soldiers dying, American servicemen and women dying, because it wasn't being operated by Americans. Don't just buy expensive equipment from the Americans. Get them to operate it as well. Same with the Ukrainians. Get more Ukrainians involved. They know what they're doing. You don't.
There we go. I'm not so sure that they'll publicly, ask Israel to do anything. I think if anything, it'll be behind the scenes. Just knowing that they lack a backbone. But thank you so much, Fleshy. Look at this guy's username, Armin.
Gilal Zoot. Yeah, I love this guy.
Says, how do you feel about Marandi threatening all Arab countries to evacuate if the U.S. strikes Iran, but Israel isn't included in that list? Arabs are IRGC's punching bag. They're IRGC's punching bag because they're significantly weaker than the Islamic Republic, and they've chosen to stay weak, even with all the money they have.
Yeah, go on.
I feel that Marandi just a couple months ago was talking big and saying Israel this, Israel that, and now he isn't. Although he likes to give off a vibe that, the Islamic Republic's untouchable and they're going to destroy everyone and they're super untouchable. Yeah, that's not the case. That's not the case. He also is rumored within Iran. There's rumors that he, if anyone knows Bushra Sheikh, that Pakistani British woman who came to the Islamic Republic and spread their propaganda, there's rumors that they meet sometimes. They have special meetings. Who knows? What were you gonna say? Oh, you're muted.
I was saying the Islamic Republic went to saying we're going to just wipe out Israel, turn Haifa and Tel Aviv into dust. Think the U.S. is Abraham Lincoln. To realizing that they could do none of that, they have stopped completely the bombing of Israel. Then they focus on the UAE, and they always said that they're going to completely invade Saudi Arabia and change their flag. So they started threatening those countries, and then even that became too difficult for them. So now they stopped bombing Saudi Arabia and UAE, and they were focusing on the weakest ones, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan, all the only ones, because these are the ones that could respond the least. So it's like you forget about United States and Israel. You can't even handle UAE and Saudi Arabia. That's why you're focusing on these three countries, because they're the weakest ones, and they're the ones with the least amount of response.
Yeah. Thank you, Get Al-Zudid. And we have Flashy Interloper saying, Ali pretending he isn't CENTCOM's boss. I can't control them anymore. I just can't control them anymore. They're striking empty pipes on the side of a road that's been there for 15 years. I just, sometimes your employees just they make mistakes, And Fleshy Interloper also said, the Islamic Republic made itself too big a target. That's the same that Saddam Hussein did, actually, before he got executed. He thought that he could deter the U.S. and the world by striking Kuwaiti infrastructure, dumping oil into the Persian Gulf and setting on fire, et cetera, just made him a bigger target. Thank you so much, Fleshy. And I completely agree with that. Deborah is saying, sending love to you, Ali, Armin, and the Iranian warriors, USA.
Oh, thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Hopefully we make the world a safer and better place for your children there, your profile picture. And thank you for the super chat.
Oh, that is a nice thing to say, Ali. That's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. And Nima Farce is saying, Armin, the way you kept saying under the sea makes me want to watch The Little Mermaid. Can you say
it? Yeah. Wait, what did it say? Under the sea. Under the sea. Yeah, I know. You know, it made me think. Every time I say under the sea, every time I said it, that crab came into my mind for some reason. Every time I say the phrase under the sea, there's a picture of a crab somewhere in my head that shows up. What was his name? The crab guy?
I don't remember.
My God, guys, did you guys? Hey, personal question. Is it how many of you? Oh, Sebastian, yes.
Oh, okay.
How many of you had nightmares from the cooking scene? Is it just me? The cooking scene in the kitchen with Sebastian being almost cooked alive. And just me?
I don't remember that. Yeah.
They almost cooked him alive. Like, this is like torture. Like, yeah, anyways.
Jeez.
The guy singing in the kitchen and cutting things up, and like I had nightmare. You guys don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't remember it. But I mean, I watched it a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Nima. I also like it. Wait, can you say it one more time?
Under the sea. Under the sea. I don't know.
Yeah. And we have a super chat from Caroline saying, Armin and Ali, if you have any internal Iran info leaks on Minab that contradicts the Islamic Republic propaganda, please pass it on to me for official analysis. I have no insider info, but if you check out what Brad Cooper said the last time he testified in front of Congress, he has the most information on it.
The only analysis that I think we should rely on is the U.S. analysis, not like us, not like any other YouTubers, not anybody. I think we should just wait for the U.S. government's U.S. military analysis. Do you agree with that, Ali?
Yeah, and also it's just one of those things where if it wants to be concealed, it will be. And it's hard to know the exact truth. But yeah, that's your best source.
No, I trust the U.S. government in this. I trust the U.S. government in this.
All right. Sorry, we couldn't give you any additional info, Caroline, but that's what we got.
All the information that is available to us is already public.
Yeah.
By the way, in the chat, do you guys agree with me, or do you think like that is too naive? I trust the U.S. government's. I trust the military has its own their checks and balances, and the procedures that they have there is pretty. The standards are pretty high. So you could argue, if you want to argue by politics, the release of it could become political, whether they would release the findings or not. But the research itself is pretty trustworthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, Caroline, for that. And Channel is saying 10 bridges, plants, checkpoints, and 10,000 Basij IRGC. Let's just do the 10,000 Basij IRGC first. Let's see how that happens, plays out first.
You know what? I know, Ali. I know you really want to help. You want to avoid the plants and bridges, and I think that's what President Trump wants to do. He wants to avoid hitting plants and bridges, right? But given how much President Trump has been trying to avoid hitting plants and bridges, to me, it means that if he does hit plants and bridges, there were no other way. Do you understand?
And that's probably the final push as well.
Yeah.
There's not really going back from there. We have some breaking news for you guys as we continue to read the super chats. So, well, channel, you know, maybe you are some good luck charm. Here on this green marker, you guys can see the capital city of Tehran is right there. Directly to its left, maybe a couple, maybe 2-3 hours out, in the city of Zanjan, we have, I know that there's missile cities here, and it looks like they've been struck. So we have Shin reporting 2 blasts in this location, as well as here. So a lot of the missiles, pretty much the missile cities will just line the mountain sides here in the foothills. And so this entire area has missile cities, which are being struck right now. We saw last night more of them around these mountains being struck. And let's keep in mind that CENTCOM did announce their beginning of strikes. These are pretty far in, right? So they're right there on that green marker. CENTCOM is over here. So it does take some time for them to traverse the country. So now that we're hearing some explosions, we could hear a lot more. We'll see. So thanks, channel, for the good luck charm. And Justin says, don't dismiss or underestimate this, but one of the things we need to do is disable their state TV and other means of propaganda. Oh, I don't underestimate that at all. I completely agree. We should have struck their broadcasting centers during the 40-day war and leveled it to the ground.
I actually disagree. I think their state propaganda has been a very good source of causing division among them and also keeping them deluded and stupid, and causing them to miscalculate.
That's a good point.
Yeah. It's also it also pushes a lot of them to keep you know how we are, like, a lot of us wanted the MOU and the ceasefire to be temporary. It was through the state TV that they keep encouraging these people to, like, no to negotiations, no to MOU, which is completely in line with what we want. So we should allow the state TV to keep doing that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. So that's one thing that maybe we finally disagree about. Just because I weigh the effects of, hey, is that 3% of the population who watch the state media and believe it going to be influenced more, or is another 10% of the population who generally support or prefer the Islamic Republic over being destroyed by America? And that's what they think. Is it going to affect them more or them more? What do you think about
nobody
that?
Watches, like, nobody watches, like, what's the negative effect? So you understand the positive effect on the state of the state TV. Do you agree?
Yes.
So what's the negative effect?
That a lot of people who don't know any better and would think that the United States is here to destroy them will listen to it and start believing it.
They already believe that. They're not the people who believe the state TV, it's not like they didn't used to believe it, and now because they're listening to it, they believe it. It's not like it's converting anybody.
Good points. All right, you got me convinced. I've switched over.
Right.
Thank you, Justin, for that. And Sarah Ocean saying, my daughter Sky says hi, and Javid Shah booses. Aw.
Oh.
Hi, Sky. Javid Shah.
Hi, Sky. Javid Shah.
You have a great mom.
Yes. Amazing mom. You're very lucky.
Very lucky. Thank you, Sarah, for that super chat. And Joanne says confetti.
Confetti.
Did you also get confetti?
Oh, yes. Thank you, guys. We got there. Appreciate that. You guys
it.
are awesome. We did it.
And
but still, Ali got there first. So there's that.
Guys, is there any way we can catch up to Armin now in the super chat? No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much, Joanne. And John is saying, I'm doubtful on Iraq. Al-Zaidi is arguably part of the problem. He's no Mustafa al-Kadhimi. The latter would actually try, but he's not in power. I don't know who that is. Who's Mustafa al-Kadhimi?
I mean, what's the problem we have with Zaidi? I mean, you should be doubtful with anybody in politics. You shouldn't. It's not like we should be trusting anybody. But so far it should all be based on performance. But I mean, and based on performance, John, have you ever seen anything like what he has delivered so far? Like, have you ever seen anybody going in and arresting all of the politicians that are associated with the Islamic Republic in the way that he has, and like getting all the money? Like what he basically completely removed, like not completely, but to a large degree removed Iraq from the sphere of influence of the Islamic Republic, and has now brought Iraq into the sphere of influence of the United States. Like, what else does he need to do? You shouldn't trust anybody, but you should just look at what people do and their performance. And so far at least, Al-Zaidi has delivered.
Yep. So far, he's doing the right thing. He's maneuvering. Remember, he's kind of caught in between two powers here, and he chose the right path. So let's continue to see him going on the right path.
But also keep in mind that he's still very constrained. You know, there's a lot of the militia. There's still a lot of militia backed establishments supported by the Islamic Republic that are against them, right? Like, it's not like he has 100% maneuverability and makes 100% like reform very difficult, but still, even with those limitations, he has delivered a lot.
Yep. Thank you, John, for the super chat. And George Hansen is saying Iran, Russia, and Ukraine will all three be facing famine this autumn. The four horsemen are at the door. The food shortages are unpreventable. Leaving the job unfinished makes things worse. The only answer is finish it now. Ukraine just got another $70 billion in forms of loans, so I don't think they'll be starving. Russia might. It's a very big possibility. Their economy is almost doing as bad as the Islamic Republic's. And the Islamic Republic, maybe. It's hard to say. If we get good rain here, it would lessen the effects, which we're supposed to schedule to get in Iran right now. But you're right. It depends on how much time it takes. What do you think?
I mean, do you really think we're going to get to... I mean, if we even get close to famine levels, famine is like... So malnutrition is where we're at right now in Iran with children. Famine is a big deal. I know that there are some places in Iran where very poor people are experiencing that. But if you're talking about what I think you are, we're going to get major uprisings before we even get close to that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know about Ukraine and Russia. I'm just talking about in Iran.
Yeah, Ukraine, I don't think so.
So, because, guys, the term famine is like a very, scientifically measured catastrophe. Just because people are going hungry or because food prices are higher, it doesn't mean it's famine, right? Like when we say famine, we're thinking like South Sudan, like something like that. You see, there's so much. You have bones everywhere except the belly that keeps growing, not because they're eating, but because something happens when you're having, like, the pictures of famine. Like, look at like in Yemen when they had war with Saudi Arabia. Look at the famine in Yemen. That is on a completely different scale, and I think even if we get 5% close to that, in Iran, we're gonna have major uprisings before we get to that.
Yeah. Thank you, George, for the super chat.
Thank you.
And Anne-Marie, thank you for the gems.
Thank
Biz
you.
Enthusis says some love for Armin.
Thank you. See?
All right.
We
Thank you, Biz
Enthusis. Thank you.
And Kelly says, I'm on Armin's side. Oops,
See,
I mean
loyal.
Ron's side.
Oh, not so loyal.
She named you.
Change my name. Okay. Some Some people abandon me. Some people stay and change my name. But thank you, Kelly. Or Karen. There you go. Okay. Oh. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Change my name. I changed yours.
Arzu is saying, let's get to 10 people. Did it.
Arzu was helping us get to our goal. Thank you, Arzu. Love you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
And then we have Amir the Cricket. Thank you for the super chat saying, did you know cats have 9 souls or 9 lives? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think he was saying that because he was the 9th super chat.
Ah.
I think.
But you're a cricket.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir. And Nollybug is saying for Armin's confetti, Javid Shah.
Thank you.
Javid Shah.
Javid Shah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Neo has gifted 5 Liberty Politics memberships. Thank you very much, Neo.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's and awesome. Nail Bunny has also gifted 10 Liberty Politics memberships.
You. Mrs. Claus, always there, always supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I read the next one, guys, we do have alligrams. I have 2 of them for you so far. I'm going to look to see if I can find more. Rads is saying there's no way to get rid of the IRGC without destroying Iran. Thousands of your people will die, and it will take years to recover from it. Also, the Gulf states will suffer from it too, and so they have a say in it. It's a pretty brutalistic take. I mean, that's not the only way. There are different ways. I think we can absolutely get rid of the IRGC without destroying Iran. It'll be a question of how much damage the IRGC allowed to inflict on their own country after they know they're falling, which is why I always say, let's choke them slowly until you can absolutely finish them off so they can't do anything.
When you say without destroying Iran, what is Iran? Iran is not the power plants. Iran is not the bridges. Iran is not the oil. Iran is not even the soil. Iran are the people. And as long as the people are there, the people are the greatest resource. The wealth of Iran is the people of Iran, not our natural resources, not our infrastructure. And the Iranian people are there, and the Iranian people have the right values, the right mindset, and the right motivation to build their country. As long as the Iranian people are there, Iran has not been destroyed. And whatever gets destroyed, the Iranian people will rebuild.
Yep. And thank you for that super chat, Rads. And Bill Moore with the super chat saying, "Are you saying Tusi isn't good? Isn't good for news?" No.
I mean, I would never say anything negative about somebody who has been such a great voice of the Iranian people and a great fighter against the most evil ideas against civilization. So I would never say anything negative about such a powerful source in our fight for liberty.
Look, he's gonna go into Tusi's chat. Bill's gonna go into Tusi's chat and say, guys, Armin's talking bad about you. Armin's talking bad about you.
No, he's not. He's not. No. He's gonna go and say something nice about it.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah. Thank you, Bill Moore. And then we have the allogram questions. So Joanne's saying any allograms, and Flesh Antelope is also saying allograms or uprising. Okay.
Well, let's how about this? How about you don't do an allogram and we'll see what your uprising looks like. Hey, Ali, one day not have an allogram. I want to see what their uprising. Let's dare them. What are you guys gonna do? We're gonna suppress you.
No.
What does your uprising look like?
I don't want to suppress anyone. We do have a couple. We have 3.
You overshred.
Let me translate this back into Farsi.
Remove the chat you highlighted.
So, Joanne and Fleshy, we do have some allograms. So, guys, this is where I go into the IRGC political forums and I grab some messages that basically determine the temperature of the regime supporters. This person is saying it seems like Israel is running the Iranian broadcasting system, misleading analyses, lying analysts who should be held accountable if their analysis has even the slightest influence on decision making and cause these strategies. Israel running the Iranian broadcasting system. Who knows? Maybe that's the case. The Jews.
See, this is why. This is why. Remember, this is why I don't want to destroy the state media. Look at the division the broadcasting system is causing. Look at that.
I'm fully on board.
Proof. I was right.
I'm fully on board.
The sneaky Jews are controlling the Islamic Republic. Dirka jihad, Allahu Akbar.
The media, the Jews and the media.
Guys, this is literally no Jews, no news. Because guys, these are the jihadi Islamic people in Iran. They think that their news is now controlled. The state media is controlled by the Jews. So yeah, no Jews, no news, because the news is controlled by the Jews. That's what they actually think. That proves it. Did you show the original Persian before you showed the English?
Yeah, let me do it.
So, oh my God, I love this. These are great fans. Good job. It's like audio and video, visuals, sounds and visuals. Visuals. Wait,
yeah, I never wrote
is
that.
It me or is Ali is frozen for me? Is it Ali Pixie for you guys?
Everything's
yes. Ali turned into AI. Ali is a robot.
Guys, there you go. People were saying that the uprising would be moving to Armin's chat, and then someone actually did go into your chat, and Miss Hypnotic said, "I only saw like one person I knew in Armin's chat." Guys, we got
wow,
some different audiences guys, apparently. Ooh,
people are. Come back. No, I'm just kidding. Stay there. I'm just kidding. You know what? Stay there. I don't even want you. I have new people in my chat. I know there's a lot of, by the way, guys, I know there's a lot of new people. The people who used to be old timers, they're on Ali's chat now. Okay. But we have new people in my chat. Let's create a new community of the new people. So if you're a new person in my chat, leave a comment, be like, hey, I'm new here. And start bonding with other people. We'll create a parallel community to Ali's chat.
Oh, look at this. I will always support Armin.
Thank you. Arizu is loyal. Thank you.
And
I know, guys, I'm kidding. What the hell?
Guys, don't go to Armin's chat. I've been doing YouTube for 2 months, okay? And I've been here every day except for one day, and now I get 400 viewers. We gotta
Mark
gotta keep it up.
Yeah, no, that's guys.
I'm the new guy.
Is growing like really fast. Yeah, the new guy. Look, Mark is the new guy. Hi, Mark. Welcome to our group chat. See,
thanks, Mark.
I'll bet the fresh new community of people. You guys, the old timers, are on the other side. I'm kidding, by the way, guys.
Ooh.
I love you guys.
No,
actually, like, guys, I'm gonna keep joking about this, but seriously, the whole point of Liberty Politics is to grow all of the people who join, make a YouTube channel, come live stream with us. Like, Ali's channel is growing, and that's the entire point of Liberty Politics. But we're gonna keep this going, this competition going. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually got a super chat from Bill right quick before we go to the next Aligram, saying, "You guys said only get news from the Department of War. So just a question. I get my news from 2C, Goldie, and you guys. Forget about us. Go back to the Department of War, Bill."
So you should get opinions from us, okay? Because we're not the journalists on the ground that are getting this information out there, right? Like, we're not. You should come to all of us to see what our take. We have the experience, we have the knowledge to be able to make sense of what's happening. But for what's actually happening, You need the more you even when we tell you what the news is, double check it with direct sources. And if you're even getting it from media, see what their direct sources are. So don't trust anybody on the news. And just try to verify it with as many direct sources as possible, and sources that so for example, one reason why I like Shin and Vahid Online is because they are direct sources. Iran International also has direct sources, right? So but we are not here's the thing. When I put videos out there from the Iranian people saying arm us, that is me having some direct sources, but that's not what I do on a regular basis. Shin, Vahid Online, Iran International, they do that on a regular basis. So you need to verify if what we're saying, what me and Ali or anyone else is saying. You need to do your homework to verify if we got it right. Don't trust us. In fact, you need to also fact check us. And one good thing about having a live chat is sometimes you guys come here and you're like, no, Armin, you got that wrong. And then we work up with each other. So don't trust us, fact check us, and help us get better. What we offer is, we're not a news channel. Okay, what we offer is our experience and our knowledge to make sense of the raw material comes from somewhere else. We add our perspective to it so you could make better sense of it. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's why Armin will fact check me. I will bring you guys the facts. I'll cite the sources of who said what, and then we go and verify that again. Then we analyze it for you guys. So you guys are getting 2 in 1.
Does that make sense, guys? But guys, I think that's the responsible way to go about doing it. Let me know if you agree.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill. As well as Rooster with the super chat saying, "I'm still here, Armin. Don't forget about me." I think he was forgetting. I don't know.
No. And not only do I not forget you, I also remember you mentioning not to use that entire username because you picked it when you were very young, and you don't want me to use the whole thing. But I did forget if you wanted me to use the second part or the first part. I think the second part, right? Rooster. The ninja part you said I shouldn't use, the rooster part. See? I remember these details. Like, not only do I remember you, I remember your instructions on how to call what to call you.
Yeah. Thank you, Rooster.
Thank you.
And Neela, before we go to the next allogram, saying even Tusi would say to verify info first. Even Tusi. Yes, of course you would. Javid Shah.
Even. Thank you.
Even
yes.
Tusi.
No, he's saying even because he's not here, and she's adding it to us. That's what she.
Guys, we can say whatever we want about Tusi here, right, guys?
No, yeah.
Right.
He's a warrior for not just a free Iran, but a free UK and a free world.
Yes. Much respect for Tusi.
Thank you. Thank you, Naila. See, I remember some things. It's not Nila, it's Naila, and it's a beautiful name. You told me that it's not Nila.
You're right.
Naila. Wow, I'm actually really bad with these things. Am I getting better? I was really bad with remembering people, but I think I'm getting better at this.
I think so.
I'm impressed.
And here we go with the other 2 alligrams. We have this one. This one is saying pretty much what we want to say. So he's saying the price of oil is going up. Therefore, I wish Ghalibaf, Arakchi, and Pezeshkian would just go into a tunnel without access to a phone for 2 weeks. Let's not negotiate for a couple of weeks and see what happens. Again.
Yeah. So the context is that these people are really angry because oil prices were going up during, the war, during the 40-day war. And they're like, look, we're devastating the global economy. And as soon as Ghalibaf and Arakchi came and negotiated, it went down. And these people are like, no, what are you doing? We were hurting them. So this guy is saying, good, oil prices are going up and up again. Lock up Ghalibaf and Arakchi so that they don't come and bring it back down. That's what he's saying. Did you show the original? Always show the original Persian for Iranians who want to see.
Yeah, at first, I did.
Oh, you did? Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah. Because it's good for people to be able to verify if the AI translation was correct.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
To a large extent, I'll read the translation most of the time just to make sure it's accurate.
Yeah.
But sometimes I miss it.
Yeah.
Then we have this one, and this one is saying, translate that for you guys and zoom in. So this is a pretty interesting statement. Let's go back out. Okay. This guy's saying Iran, before Ali Khamenei was martyred, had one leader. There was a master, and he was the only master. We had one leader before Khamenei was martyred. Now there's the IRGC, the army, the government, Ghalibaf, Pezeshkian.
I love AI. Why are you so stupid, AI? I love how AI thinks Ghalibaf, because Ghalibaf literally means carpet weaver, and AI thinks that he should have realized that that's the name, not carpet weaver. And also Pezeshkian, which is the name of the president, means doctor. So instead of saying Pezeshkian, Ghalibaf, and Pezeshkian, it always translates it to carpet weaver and doctors. So the government in Iran is being run by carpet weavers and doctors. What do we do? It's a trash. What a shame! A bunch of carpet weavers and doctors are running the country.
What a shame.
What a shame. Yeah, so this guy is complaining it used to be one central authority, which was Ali Khamenei, and now that Ali Khamenei is dead, it's like all over the place. We don't even know who's in charge. Is it like IRGC? Is it by government? But when they say government, they mean like it's interesting. In Iran, when they say Dolat, which means government, they don't mean the entirety of the government. They're talking about the executive branch. Everywhere else in the world, when you say government, you're talking about all of the government. In Iran, when they say government, they are talking about the executive branch.
Yep. And I'm trying to see if we can find any more here, but
carpet bomb the carpet weaver. How about that? We should make that a thing.
Sounds good to me. The last thing we'll leave you guys off with is the influx of more U.S. equipment into the region. So we do see some more planes carrying some pretty significant ordnance taking out from the U.S. and going into Europe, where they drop it off, and then planes will arrive from the Middle East to Europe and pick them up and bring them back. So that's still continuing, and we will largely see the efforts of that pretty soon. The strikes tonight were, so far, they struck way up north near Tehran, 2 blasts there at a missile city, and we've heard nothing since. But earlier today, they did strike Bushehr and Bandar Abbas and all the regular places, so perhaps we don't really see much tonight. Guys, make sure you please subscribe to both of our channels, Ali Samani, Liberty Politics. If you're watching on either of our channels, please drop a like and a subscribe on the other. We're here every single day, and we will continue to be every single day long after Iran is free.
Okay, hold on. I forgot to have this ready. Okay, so for people watching on my chat, here's the link to Ali's channel. Do not go there. Stay. I'm just kidding. So here's a link to Ali's YouTube. Go
and here's a link to Liberty Politics.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
when you do Liberty Politics, you can select Ali. So
right,
it only goes to your channel. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Okay. And subscribe wherever you're watching. If you're new, if you're watching on either one of our channels, on Liberty Politics or Ali's channel, just make sure you hit the subscribe. And don't just hit subscribe, hit the bell notification and select all. So every time we go live, you know that we're live. And thank you guys for everybody who's liking. We really do appreciate that. It does mean a lot. It does help us grow. Also, the monkey is going to go live after us. He's going to be talking. Wait, what is he talking about today?
While you check that, let me read the super chat. S. Carter is saying, I'm still butthurt Armin called me old. I mean,
when did I call you old?
That's why you come into, my chat. I'm not going to call you old. Just saying. No, I'm totally kidding. Thank you for the super chat.
Wow. Okay. I think the monkey is going to talk about Mamdani calling calling Netanyahu a war criminal. That's what it's going to do. Yeah. And thank you, by the way, for the super chat. How do you pronounce the name?
S. Carter. I think S is the initial, the first name initial.
Okay. Carter.
Sally, Scarlett.
You know, I really can't tell your age because you're a horse, and I can't tell young horses from old horses.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. That was us. Make sure you'll come tune in again, same time tomorrow. Ali and I will go live again. And we'll see you again, same time tomorrow. And until then, I'm Israel Chai. Slava Ukrainian. Cuba Libre. Long live America.
Long live America.
Javid Shah.
Payende
Iran.
Iran.
See you guys tomorrow.